Ramirez, your host of Stand Out and Grow. I want to help your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Building your business is really, really hard. And knowing what marketing and advertising tools you need to help you become successful is extremely confusing. After 30 years of working with thousands of businesses, I am here to help you make good business decisions. I want to help you understand the programs that are available to you so that you can stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. So let's get started.
Hey there, this is Pat Ramirez, and we are live. And I just want to apologize now. Bella, stop it. I want to apologize now if my dog barks. I apologize. Patty's, come here. No, you do not do that. Come here. Do not do that. In case you don't know who I am Pat Ramirez, CEO and founder of adBidtise. We help businesses stand out and grow. And today, I am so thrilled to death to welcome Patti, CEO of Be Green Pro. Welcome, Patti.
Thank you, Kat. So glad to be here.
Awesome. So in the notes, Patti, so that you give people a little bit of background, because I love the story. You know how much I love the story. And when we first met, you told me the story and I fell in love with it. Kind of give people that story of how you got started with Be Green Pro, because I think it's a great story.
Thank you. So we kind of got started by surprise, but about 10 years ago, I was walking through our neighborhood with my 4 children. At the time, we had 2 dogs, and we were just having a nice walk through the neighborhood on a very cold and freezing afternoon, late February, and we actually saw a lawn care company out doing service. And I have a pretty long history in the lawn and landscape industry. My family owns a lawn and landscape my family owns a lawn and landscape company. My husband has been working in the industry since he was 18 years old. And I have always just been very, very passionate about environmental issues. I've just always been an environmental advocate. So knowing that there is no good reason for any company to be doing a lawn application when the ground is frozen in late February, I just got mad. You know, that term that you say, I've seen red. Well, I always used to think that was just like a cliche, but that's real. Like, you really can get so angry that like your vision turns red. And that's how I felt. I felt like I was so frustrated by the marketing that is done by companies that people are trusting to do the right thing. And we know as an industry that we want to get out and do people's lawns. That's a service, but there's a right time to do it.
Right.
And so that frustration actually just kind of made me blurt out to my kids saying, if we had a lawn care company, we would do things so much differently. And at the time, my oldest son was, I think he had just turned 16. I think he was 16. And he said, Mom, well, then why don't we? And at that moment, I was convicted. You know, as a mother, you're sitting there with 4 children's eyes staring at you like, what are we going to do now, Mom?
Right.
And I had the choice to either say, we're going to spout off our mouths and just keep doing things the way we have been, or we're going to make a difference where we have the knowledge and ability to do so. So that's what we did. I said, Robbie, you're right. And we went home that day and we went through our email contacts. Now, 10 years ago, email was the thing. Now it's, not as popular to do that. But
right.
We just went through our email contacts and we sent out a letter to everyone we knew just saying, hey, we want to make a difference. We're going to start this company, Be Green Pro, and we are going to do lawn and landscaping sustainably. And we started out that year with about 25 clients that responded to that letter right away. And we've been growing since then. We now serve about 700 clients in the southeastern Wisconsin area.
And that's awesome because, when I first met you, like this was way before the time of being green and what happened, you know what I'm saying? Like you had to get clients that were really forward thinking.
Right.
So I think it's amazing how you we're pioneering this, you know?
Thank you. That's a word I really love. And it really is about lifestyle, Kat. You know, people are thinking more and more now about their health. They're thinking about their planet. They're thinking about the legacy that they're going to leave their kids. They're thinking about the homes that they have and the environment that they live in. And that's really what we're all about. We're about giving people the empowerment to be educated, to have knowledge, to have choices about how they're going to live their lives and reduce the chemical footprint in their lives and communities. It's more than just about lawn care for us. It's really about the whole person's lifestyle and their community.
Right.
You know, we're a small business. We're a female-owned business, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later. Yeah. But you know, and we're local, so we're really striving to teach people, you know, how do you support your community best? How do you keep a healthy home, healthy community, and how do you help the small businesses in your area thrive? Because it really does take both. It takes a little bit of large business, but it really takes small business and supporting small business, supporting each other to make a successful community.
Right. And you are an essential business right now, right?
We are an essential business. So we are open for business. Initially in Wisconsin, we do pest control and we also do lawn services. So on the pest side, the state had originally said, yes, pest control is an essential for the disease control portion of it, because insects and even weeds can really cause some terrible health issues. So we were open all throughout because of the pest control portion, but now the state has opened it up to the lawn care portion.
Oh, good. Awesome.
And we were, I'm going to just say, we were one of the companies that really respected that order. You know, no matter how you feel about the COVID, I just really want to say that people are dying, and especially, you know, not just people of a certain age, but people of all ages, and especially healthcare workers. You know, it's just the responsible thing to do to follow the state orders. And I know it's tough and you want to get outside, but, you know, you're really saving lives when you're following the directions that the state gives. So we were one of the lawn care companies that did follow that. I know there were people out and about before, but we did really kind of strictly adhere to what the state asked us to do.
Oh, good. So the thing I want to talk about and point out is, and you kind of alluded to it, so I'm going to point it out. So you are a woman-owned business and you're a veteran-owned business.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people don't realize that you are a veteran-owned business, and veteran meaning you were a veteran.
Yes.
So
I served in the military during the time of Desert Storm, and dating myself that I'm in my 50s now. But yes, we are a woman-owned company. So as I kind of stated earlier, it was really my son Robbie that was the huge catalyst for starting this company. But Robbie was 16 at the time, and he has two brothers, so I have 3 sons and a daughter. And Robbie and my 2 younger sons and my husband helped really get the ball rolling for Be Green. But I have been the founder and CEO at the head of the company the whole time. It's 100% woman owned, and now I am actually really lucky enough to have my son back working with me. What most people don't know about Robbie is that he actually graduated high school. He went to MSOE and became a mechanical engineer. And he did go out and work as an engineer for a year, but he kept thinking about Be Green Pro and how much he loved starting this business with me and making the difference that we do. That's what Be Green has been about for the whole time. And he missed it. And about a year later, he called me and said, you know, Mom, I'd really like, you know, I love being an engineer, but I really love Be Green Pro more, and asked if he could come back. And of course, I was so excited and welcomed him with open arms. And so we're lucky to be a mother-son team now.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Family owned from the beginning. My husband, Rob, he does some consulting for us. He has a full-time job in another area and always has, but he loves to pitch in when he can. And my 2 other sons did work for us for quite a while, but they're kind of off doing their my one son is graduating from college and my other son is going in some other directions. But I did want to tell you that in the lawn and landscape industry in general, there's only 3% of lawn and landscape companies that are owned by women. So we truly are a minority company.
Yep.
And it's not always easy being a woman in a male-dominated industry, you know, whether it's the military or lawn and landscape or engineering or social media or whatever it is. It's a difficult road, but it's a good thing, I think, to be tiny but mighty and really just make your mark and keep that momentum moving on things that you believe in.
Right. So, because you've owned this company now for quite a while, and you have gone through, because I'm assuming you were in business during the 2008 recession.
We actually started right after 2008.
Okay.
We opened our doors in the February of 2011, actually.
Okay.
So we've been this will be our 10th season of lawn care service.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So would you say that this year is probably the biggest challenge?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think people that have a mindset to survive and persevere just kind of roll with it, whatever happens. And my favorite saying is spread cheer, not fear, because I just really believe in faith and perseverance and taking what comes. And, not again to sound cliche, but I really like taking lemons and making lemonade. And, I'm going to show you my little dog, Oliver. Okay, so about 2 years ago, I've always been an animal person. We had 3 cats and 2 dogs most of my life. But a couple of years ago, we started just opening our hearts and our homes to rescue animals. And so 2 years ago, we got our first rescue, and his name is Forrest, and he's at home today. But he is a Belgian Malinois rescue, and he is a big, burly guy, and scary to most people, but a big marshmallow to us. And and this guy here, this is Oliver. And
hey, Oliver, he's cute. Yeah.
So he came home with us last October. And we were actually, this is kind of a fun story, so that's why I'm introducing Oliver here. But we were actually introduced to rescuing animals at a lawn and landscape show. It's one of the largest in the industry. It's called the GIE show, and it's in Kentucky every October. So we go every year. Be Green Pro is just really we do everything we can to educate ourselves and our techs. So going to the GIE is like a major education every year, from techniques to technologies to equipment and to the actual education process. But anyway, so they have a pet adoption fair every year at the GIE.
Nice.
And so we found our first rescue 2 years ago. That was Forrest. And then last year, I just went to go visit the animals. I wasn't going to bring another one home. But we saw Oliver, and he just really spoke to me about being tiny but mighty.
Yep.
He was, when they found him, he was they think he had been on the streets for quite a while. And somehow he survived. They found him, and he was just a mess. He was a matted, overgrown mess of fur. And they took him in and got him some good nutrition, and he was just a fighter. Yep. And that's often how I feel in the lawn and landscape industry, especially being a niche company, a sustainable company. It's very rare to have, a sustainable and woman-owned company. And so Oliver reminds me every day that just because you're small, you have a voice, and you have the ability to make the choice for yourself. Are you gonna stick it out? Are you gonna make your mark? Are you going to persevere? Are you gonna make your footprint matter? And so that's Oliver has been such a great addition to our family, and he's our company mascot, and comes to work with me every day. Everybody loves him here, and he just really reminds me about who we are and why we do it.
That is awesome. Doris, I don't want to say your name wrong. Doris loves your quote. She said, "Spread cheer, not fear." I will start using this, Patti.
Thank you.
So she said, and then she also said, "Empowering women." Love that. And then Danielle, thanks Danielle for commenting. Danielle says, "Oliver is so cute."
Oh, thank you. We think so too.
Yeah.
He just got a home haircut because there's no grooming during,
right.
We're at home. So I had to learn how to give him a haircut, and he looks a little rough, but it's not bad. He toughed it out, and we made it work.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Okay. So going back to when you first started, Patti, and I'm sure you remember this because I remember when I first started. Okay. Because there's a lot of people watching, and I always say adversity brings opportunity. And right now we have a lot of adversity, and it's an opportunity for people to start their own business, to get something else going, to pivot, whatever the case may be. Okay. So when you first started, what would you say, what was it like for you as a woman, as a veteran, and you never had a business before, right?
No.
So can you remember what that feeling was like?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very exciting, but don't get me wrong. Every day I have to get up and say, even still, I'm 10 years in, and even still I have to get up every day and say, I'm going to take on the challenges of the day, because every day there are challenges. But just know that if you're passionate about something, it's worth it. It's so worth it. And there's really, I guess I'm saying a lot of cliches today, but there's the one that goes, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And that's really how I feel, like all the time. Whatever challenge comes, I face it. I know it's not going to kill me. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to get up, and making mistakes actually helps you grow. And so I sometimes feel if I'm not making a mistake, or if there's not a challenge, then I'm not stretching myself as far as I should. And so that's really what I have to say now through the Safer at Home and the COVID-19. Of course, there are many, many challenges, but there's also just great opportunity, like you mentioned, Kat. And I am seeing so much beauty come from this, really. I'm seeing families go back to thinking about what's really important. And, I'm telling people in my own industry, this is a great time to spend time with your family. You want your yard and your home to be as healthy and beautiful and safe as possible, because, your backyard is the one place that isn't canceled. You can get out there and you can enjoy that, So, we're helping you do that, with less ticks, less mosquitoes, and, keeping those weeds down safely. But really, what I want people to know is that take advantage of this time. We don't know how long it's going to last. And, just spend time with your family, enjoy doing things that you don't normally do, have dinner together, cook together, clean together, play together. And don't forget the people that don't have family. That's been something really on my heart lately, is especially as last weekend was Easter, and, we have some holidays, that are coming up as well. And there's people that don't have family to share it with, and they've been alone for weeks already, and they're going to be alone for a couple more weeks. We don't know how long. So if you can, just reach out, call people that might not have anyone else, send them cards, teach them how to use Skype, and do some crafting together over Skype. Just come up with some creative things. It could be, it could be your family member. It could be a neighbor. It could be somebody far away that is, in another state that has no one. And even people at nursing homes or care facilities, they really are stretching right now to have activities for them. So I know Shorehaven out in Oconomowoc has said that they need cards and puzzles and things for their residents to keep busy. So if you can help out with any of that and just keep someone company, I would just highly recommend reaching out and caring for somebody in that way.
So, okay. So to the tone of entrepreneurship and knowing that some businesses are going through a rough patch now. Okay. Because because the reality is some businesses will not survive this. Okay. And a lot of businesses will. And so I guess my question to you, because you've come 10 years. Okay.
Yes.
I haven't hit my 5-year mark, and I'm hitting a rough patch, and, it's a challenge for me. And I had talked to someone the other day who was about to throw in the towel because they're just being beaten up. And so, is there any advice, because you've gone through 10 years, and I'm sure you've had a lot of challenges, is there any advice for anybody who's has a business they love and they're just getting beaten up, to say, don't throw in the towel, you can.
Yeah. And I'm going to actually make a confession that I haven't told anyone else except my family. But about 2 weeks ago, I was feeling really beat up myself. And I actually, said to my son, I just don't know if I can do this anymore. I just don't know if I want to do this anymore. Sometimes you do just come to that point where you get so beat up and you look at your life and you're like, what does this all mean to me? What does it mean to everyone else? And the next day I got up and I said, it is a passion for me, and it is making a difference. And that is why I keep getting up and doing what I do every day. So that's what I would tell business owners is there's a perseverance, there's a thick skin that you have to put on. And even when you're feeling really down, you have to think about why you do what you do and who it impacts and why is it worth it? Because you started it for a reason. You're helping someone. You're employing maybe yourself. Maybe you've got other employees. I have other employees I have to think about. I've always said that it was really important to me to provide a good job, a good livelihood for the people that work for me. I care about them. So I do what I do not only for myself. I do it for my employees. I do it for my family. And I do it for my neighbors and my community and the greater world, the greater planet. So really think about your bigger picture, think about your why. And then I have just a couple of really, you might have heard these before, but they're just the meat and potatoes of staying in business. And one of them is getting up every morning, getting dressed, and having a plan. Make a plan the night before if you can. Know what you want to do the next day, accomplish that, and do it in a workspace where you can just focus on that. Whether it's the kitchen table right now, or you carve out a little section of your home. Just while you're there, focus on just what you're working on and try to go according to your list. That's number one. Just keeping your spirits up by, people are laughing about, doing their work in their jammas, and don't get me wrong, I do that sometimes too. But on a regular basis, it's really good just to get your shower, get your clothes on. It puts you in a different frame of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second thing I would say is surround yourself with people, I have been doing more of this Zoom and getting my own self fed from hearing other people and being vulnerable sometimes. So I would say that's really important, is to have a good network of people that, are on all levels. I really think that I lift people as I climb, and that's not my saying, but I love it, so I'm using it. But I also am lifted by those who have climbed before me. And so I make sure that I have a good balance of both. And I have networking and coaching. Coaching too is really, really helpful. So sometimes you just need a kick in your pants and find the right people that can do that for you. So just to keep it, kind of short, those are my favorite two. But third of all, just know who you are, what matters to you, and just say, I'm going to get up and do it because it's important to me. This is why I do it, and nothing's going to beat me down. Okay. And I have another little secret confession about being a woman, just about being a woman in a male-dominated industry. A lot of times as a woman, we're talked over. And I see this very frequently. Women out there, I know you know what I'm talking about, but this happens to me frequently, especially if I'm like at a little trade show or somewhere where I'm speaking to multiple people, and maybe I have multiple people along with me. And if I have a man, no matter if it's me that starts talking or not, I notice women and men, their eyes immediately divert to the man.
Wow.
And so, that is a huge struggle for me, because I am, I consider myself an expert in the field. I've written a book about it, and I do have a lot of great knowledge and experience. And so that is a huge struggle for me. That's probably my biggest thing that I need to persevere through personally. Yep. That's what I struggle with the most. So I put that on my list every day to just think about how I'm going to handle that, how I'm going to take it in stride, how I'm going to smile, how I'm going to spread cheer, not fear, even in that aspect, and keep the train rolling.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love the get a plan and stick to your plan and have something to look forward to in the morning, because I've been listening to a lot of people on social media, and so a couple things. They think this is a vacation. No. Especially for an entrepreneur, if you let this lapse, if you let this time go and you're not productive, it's going to catch up, because once the doors are released and people have to start, they're going to be so far behind from these people that were very productive every day, that had a purpose,
I couldn't agree more. This is a time to think outside the box. This is a time to be creative. I really think that the world is not going to go back to how it was before. Nope. So doing things now to reach people in a different way is you've got this time. Just take it and see where you can fly with it. And I know we're doing that here at Be Green Pro, and I've seen just some amazing things come from people that I'd never expected. People are reaching out and like looking at their dreams right now, and how can they make that happen? And I can't agree with you more. It's really a time to not take a vacation.
No.
It's time to look at things different.
Right. And then I've also heard from women saying, okay, I have this time and I can focus on my business. I can do some self-help and I can read this book and I can do this. And then they say at the end of the day, they didn't achieve anything because they have all these grand ideas to do, no plan, and it's a wasted day, so
plan is so important.
Oh,
just
no.
Write it down. And it doesn't have to be an overwhelming plan. If it's one or two things that you need to accomplish, just do that and feel good about that.
Yeah.
We as women beat ourselves up. We have, lots of other things on our minds. We have our home, we have our family, we have our pets sometimes, we have our work. So don't beat yourself, be good to yourself and make that plan, and then feel good about accomplishing even small bits of it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about, you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur. Okay. And you're a pet owner, and you're just yourself. So how do you balance this? How do you balance your life? Because I know it's a challenge.
You've probably heard that you want to keep a life and work balance, and I don't think that's possible. I think that your work, your family, it's all part of you. And so learning how to integrate that in a healthy way it's a challenge, but it's doable. And that's where you're going to find your best, healthiest self. So, I used to say, because we're a family-owned company, that I didn't want the business to come to the dinner table, right. And inevitably it does.
I can imagine.
So I'm really trying to let the little things go, Kat. It's something you have to work on sometimes, but
right.
Really, I just kind of try to find where things are infringing too much. And then I say, okay, it's time to let that go. So if you think about like when you were in high school or college, and you had a schedule, right? You had science from 10 to 11, and then you had lunch, and then you had the next class, and you didn't let your science class run over into your lunch period, right? I mean, it just didn't happen. There was a new class coming in, and that's how I'm like focusing on how I plan my day. So when I set something on my planning calendar, I do it during that time. And even if I'm not done, I say, okay, guess what? Science is over now, and I have to move on to lunch, because there just isn't a spillover time. Now I can spill it over until my next time frame tomorrow. And some things I just have to let go, whether it's, email. I can't answer every email as I would like.
I hate email. Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm trying to learn to manage that and use technologies if I can, sending out some auto responses. And it's hard for me because I'm a really personable person. Right. I like the one-to-one touch. I like being, in our service. That's really how we're successful, is we want that personal, that communication and that real intimate personal service. Yep. So it's hard. I'm not saying change everything you do, but just find what really you can let go of, and or what you can delegate, and allow yourself that. Yeah.
So what do you do for fun?
Oh my gosh. Well, my favorite fun is still family or friend oriented. I love taking walks with the dogs. We're lucky enough to live near some lakes and some really beautiful trails. We live near the Ice Age Trail, so I take walks on the Ice Age Trail. I just did a video about how to find the Ice Age Trail near you. But I love playing games. I love crafts. I love knitting. I love playing sheep's head. That's a very Wisconsinite card game, but people who play it, they're in my corner on that one. You kind of love it or you hate it.
Right.
And I do have some kids home from college right now, so I'm just enjoying family as much as I can. And I really miss Friday night dinners with friends and playing games with friends. So I'll be looking forward to that when we can do that again.
Awesome. I think a lot of people can concur with you. Awesome. Well, as we wrap this up, Patti, what do you have for everybody that is interested in reaching out to you? How do they get a hold of you? What do you have available to offer anybody watching? Because at the end of the day, I'm here to support your business. And you can see her signage behind her. So what can people do to help support you or reach out to you or whatever?
So I want you to know we are open. We are giving free estimates right now. And we just want to support you as well. So whatever your family needs are, we are the sustainable lawn, landscape, insect, tree, and pest company. So especially now, ticks are really dangerous. So if you're out in the yard, their disease is running rampant with tick bites. So we can help you with that. So today, the offer I have, thanks for asking, Kat, is I actually was asked to write a book. It's a great book for now. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a yearly publication, and I was honored to be asked to write a chapter in this book. This is the 2019 book. The 2020 doesn't come out until later this year. So this is the current issue of the Health and Healing book. There's 20 authors in this book that give you great tips on everything. My chapter is on having a healthy lawn naturally, and there's 5 tips in there on how to keep your own lawn naturally. And so I'm giving away this book today to anyone that mentions Cats Live, and we will send you a free book if you ask us to give you an estimate. So you get a free estimate and a book just for asking. And then if you do become a seasonal client, we are sending you a $50 rebate. So if you go with our service, just for the people watching this today, you will get a $50 check back in the mail for using a safer, pet-friendly service today.
Yeah. So I put your website up so that people can see it. They can see your phone number. I don't know if you want to say it out loud so that they know it.
Yeah. So we're pretty easy to find. You can find us at www.begreen.com. adBidtise.pro. And our phone number is 262-361-4034. And we have a pretty active Facebook page with a lot of lifestyle tips, and that's pretty easy to find too. I'd love it if you'd give us a like on Facebook at BeGreenPro. So pretty easy to find out there, and we hope to hear from you.
Yeah, and I think it's important to really mention that the people that utilize Patti's service are people that have pets, that have children, that really care about their family not ingesting any chemicals, right, Patti?
Right. You know, I love we get calls all the time from people. We're a pet safe company, and we get calls all the time from people that say, you know, I'd like your service because I have a dog and I want to keep my dog safe. And I am on your page, believe me, but my mission first and foremost, I love our fur family members, but you are my most important person that I'm concerned about. So I always say, I love your dog too, but I love you more. And so I want to keep you safe first and foremost. And the chemicals that go on a lawn, I know they're EPA approved, but they are poison. They are toxic. And we are doing everything we can to reduce that toxicity. So the thing I'm going to leave you with is whatever goes outside of your home ends up inside of your home. Whether you have a dog or not, it's on the property, it's in the air, it's coming in through your venting systems, it is on your feet. What matters most to me is that I'm giving you a property that you can be proud of, and that is safer for you. It's safer for people. It's safer for pets. It's safer for your property in general, and it's safer for the planet.
Yeah. So I have a question before you end and leave, because James Lane, thanks James for the question. James says, love your concept. Patti, have you ever considered franchising?
Yes, thanks for asking. So we are in the southeastern Wisconsin area right now, and we serve about 700 clients. I do have...
Sorry. Oh my God. Yeah, I can mute me. Let me mute me.
So I do have plans for either building branches so we can serve more people, or the ideas out there that we would love to franchise. So if you are interested in that, contact me, and we'll talk more. But that is definitely in our future. We started out not knowing where this would go. Like I mentioned, we just started out, you know, I'm a mom and I had some kids, and we started just by chance. And now 10 years down the road, we see how much of an impact we're making and what a difference we're making in people's lives. And so we want to do more of that. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, I asked you that once too, because I think you should franchise this model, and maybe somebody's going to reach out to you and say, Patti, we can help you franchise this, you know?
All right. Wait.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patti, for joining us. I appreciate it. I love your business. I hope lots of people support you today and reach out to you. And thank you again for showing up and sharing your story. I love it.
Virtual hugs. I really appreciate it.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Stand Out and Grow. Check out all the notes and links at www.standoutandgrow.com. I am so thankful to you for helping this show continue to grow. I want to keep producing content that you want to hear, so please leave me some feedback. I look forward to bringing you more resources and information to help your business stand out and grow. Please follow us on social media and make sure you follow this podcast so you can learn more about helping your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Until next time, you got this. adBidtise helps businesses stand out and grow with affordable advertising options. We will help you make good business decisions so you can save money. and not just throw it against the wall to see if it sticks. Get your free strategic advertising analysis today so you can see the opportunities to stand out and grow your business. Visit www.standoutandgrow.com offers page to learn more.